Okay, so welcome back everyone to another one of our heart-powered, inspiring interviews that we are putting together just for you to inspire and empower you and really step up with your life and your business in the greatest ways. And as you know, every single time we have an incredible guest with us, and so also today, she's a wonderful lady that I got introduced by through a really wonderful friend, Shelly Hutchinson. And who's our guest today? You know Shelly, we had an interview with her. If you haven't watched it, go and check it out. She shared her incredible LinkedIn hints already. But today we have another guest with us. Who is she? She is really a miracle worker online. Her name is Mei King Tsang. Who is she? Well, she is actually known as the FOMO creator. Well, all of you know by now what FOMO stands for, right? It stands for a fear of missing out, right? As actually Mei King is saying herself, there's a lot of lurkers that always watch us but don't really get engaged. She gets them engaged. What does she do? She helps organizers of events to really sell out their conferences, workshops, festivals, and summits by really creating the excitement beyond the four walls of the event hall or of whatever office walls. She's really visible on social media and creating a lot of excitement around the event, and she's encouraging viewers of her clients' social media content to book onto the next conference, workshop, festival, and summit, and whatever other event you might be running. And she's doing that in so many different ways. She's doing it by live tweeting speakers and the host, really showing what's happening at the event itself to create excitement around that, making people shine in a greater way. She really also carries out Facebook Live interviews with speakers, attendees, and sponsors. And she's also conducting interviews on LinkedIn and Instagram. And I know that one of her powerful playgrounds is Twitter, where she's very active. And all of her content is going live on the day of the event, when the event is taking place. And often enough, she's also creating a FOMO campaign with the event organizers to really get clients in the lead up of a conference to really buy tickets. And also, yeah, she's doing it in a very smart and beautiful way with a branded mic and her own smartphone, right? And again, she's creating magic in this way. And another really specialty of hers is creating hashtags that trend pretty much all over the globe, right? She's helped hashtags to trend in Australia, Ireland, UK, and the US, and all over Europe, as you're doing currently, making, right? And she's also created a lot of content for her clients on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, because again, all of us know that we need to get messages out there even beyond our events. So, Mei King, it's amazing to have you with us today.
Thank you so much for the warm introduction. I'm blushing now.
There's no reason, again, every single, shine that we can ever put on you is well deserved. I know you've been creating magic. I've been, seeing and, reading through some testimonies from clients. I mean, they're all raving about you. So Mei King, I mean, every time has their own challenges and still has their own opportunities. What do you do right now to stay vibrant and positive and joyful in the current times?
I hang out with incredible people like yourself. That's what I do. In business, we are the sum of the 5 people that we hang out with most. That is, a well-known phrase. And so by interacting with people like yourself, with our dear friend Shelly Hutchinson, that's what keeps me alive right now. So I shut the news away a little bit, away, and then hang out with people that I really want to hang out with.
Sounds amazing. And again, you already take this golden nugget. Think about who you could hang out with today that really, spikes your energy and then uplifts your energy. Great. Okay, so Mei King, why don't you just share with us, what do you do right now? What are your latest and greatest best practices and, and campaigns and initiatives to really bring your own business to the next level? What do you do right now?
So I, as you quite rightly said, I am the FOMO creator. What I do is work with business owners to create that buzz and excitement for my clients. You know, we were talking a little bit offline before about our wonderful friend Shelley, who's got an incredible LinkedIn challenge that she is going to be launching soon. And this is actually one of my funnest campaigns that I'm actually going to be working on, in creating that buzz and excitement about the challenge. So can I tell your listeners about it?
Oh, of course, go ahead. I'm Shelley's greatest friend, and I'm definitely going to be on that challenge, right? Because I think LinkedIn is so important. I think everyone today that wants to grow their business network needs to be there. So tell us all about what you're doing there.
So I'm actually going to be attending, you know, participating in the LinkedIn challenge as well. But as one of my clients, what I'm also going to do is I'm going to be creating a buzz for her. So, you know, with a lot of business owners, we are amazing at creating impact for our audience. That's what we do. That's why we are in business, to make that impact. But what about the lurkers? You know, what about the people outside who are on social media looking through your stuff? They're not liking, they're not retweeting, they're not sharing, they're not commenting, but they're there, they're liking your stuff. So what I'm going to be doing for Shelley is I'm going to be creating content for the lurkers. And so I'm going to be taking part in the LinkedIn challenge for a personal front, for my own business, but also watching the reactions from other people who are also taking part and actually popping that onto social media as well. Because I think that a lot of business owners, when you are making that impact, it's amazing for your audience, but we've also got, you know, we want to reach out to the people, you know, outside of that in order to make the impact go further. Yeah. And that's what I mean by FOMO creator. You haven't got time to create live social media posts whilst you're actually in that challenge or your festival or your event. So let me create that for you. So that's what I'm doing for Shelley. I am going to be, as a participant, I'm going to be like a live social media reporter and documenting what's going on, interviewing some of the people who are taking part in the challenge, and just reporting what's going on and recreating that buzz and excitement out onto social media on behalf of Shelley, so that other people who have been lurking might be thinking, oh wow, that particular person had that much of results. You know, she had you know, a percentage increase in the number of quality leads that came in as a result of taking part in this 5-day challenge. I need that for myself, and that's what that's what I'm going to be doing for Shelley.
I love that. And again, as you're saying, like, you know, all of us know that when we are at an event, I mean, even already quite a while ago, and people start, thank God, embracing it more and more as an opportunity. When we are at an event and we tweet, for example, right? I mean, again, when people see that you're tweeting things, they respond to it. So we create win-win-win opportunities for everyone, for the people at the event, for the event organizer, right? And really for the people that are not even there, to help them make a decision to show up next time, right?
You're absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah, sorry to interrupt there, but you're absolutely right. And I think that, you know, when you are at an event, you're actually telling the world lots of different things. When you are writing a LinkedIn post or an Instagram story or a tweet, what you're saying is you're taking time out to focus on yourself for your business. So you're actually investing in personal development to grow your business. That's what you're telling the world when you're attending an event and you're tweeting or LinkedIning or Facebooking or so on. Yeah. What you're also doing, like you say, Monique, you're actually creating content for the conference organizer. So they're going to love you. So when they see some really good content that's coming from you, who's going to share it? Well, they're going to share it. And then, of course, you know, if you take part in the hashtag, then other people, the lurkers, they're going to see your post as well. So it's a win-win, like you absolutely say. And I have attended events where I haven't been creating FOMO for a client, but just for myself. And I picked up clients there and then, you know, within a few hours of my attending the event. Sometimes I've picked up clients because they've been lurking my stuff for, you know, an hour, a month, 6 months, 18 months. You know, I've had clients who've been watching me for that long length of time before they've approached me. So when you are at an event, whether it's virtual or an in-person event, or if you're listening to a webinar, or even if you're reading a blog post, documenting that and letting other people know, you're sharing your knowledge with other people. So that says a lot about you, and it's great content, and it's also selling without selling. That's the other thing as well.
Yeah. And I love what, all the examples you're giving are amazing and very encouraging, because again, it's not only about creating awareness. It's not only about creating content, even though this is powerful in itself. The real result is hard facts, right? I mean, it is the event organizer, you, and even participants, making them shine by inspiring them to share more. It's gaining them clients. It's getting them visibility. It's selling next tickets to the next event in a great way, right? And
Absolutely.
yeah, you shared with me one example where you helped, an event organizer also to sell like 425 tickets for the next event before even the first event was over, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
again, what are the hard facts that you personally see, because this is your daily business making?
So yeah, I can create content, live social media content for those big conferences that have 100, between 100 and 350 attendees. But I can also create a FOMO for, virtual events, which are a more intimate affair. So I actually attended an event last year before we were allowed, before lockdown happened. And this lady was a facilitator, and she helped attendees make personal breakthroughs, which is personal or through their career, or thinking of career change, or even in their business. There were 7 attendees in that experience. It was a 3-hour called Campfire Conversation, actually. And so whilst she was creating, Myra, while she was creating that magic and facilitating that breakthrough with the 7 of the attendees, I was the FOMO creator. And just like any great photographer, you never notice them when they're, documenting an event and taking pictures. So I was doing the same. I was creating FOMO, but not making sure that people didn't know I was there, because some of these breakthroughs were very personal. I didn't want to encroach on, on what was being said. But in creating, content, I interviewed Myra before and after the event. I was listening in and documenting, but without putting anyone's names to the breakthroughs that were had, and sharing those stories of how powerful the facilitation of that experience was. And as a result of that, 3 hours, I was hired to create content for live social media content. Myra had 2,500 views on her website, on the videos that I created, 30 website clicks that she would not have had she not hired me. And she also, because I wrote LinkedIn posts about the experience as well, she also had 4 facilitators who were inquiring about the structure of Campfire Conversations. So that, added a bit of unexpected prospecting for her, as well as the people who, I think there were 4 people who also inquired about her next event as well. So that's what FOMO is all about. It's about capturing a buzz, capturing the moment, what's happening right now, real, raw, and right now, and hiring someone specifically to document that, whilst you as a business owner, as a coach, as a trainer, as a speaker, are creating that magic and making an impact on the people in the room. But the FOMO creator goes beyond that, beyond the 4 walls.
Right. Okay, so just very quickly, tell us, if everyone here that is with us today, I'm sure you're all intrigued by hearing, from making, and hopefully also opening your perspective of what's possible when you're running your events. And events, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have a big event with hundreds of people in a room. An event can just be simply a webinar, or it can be like, like a lot of people run at the moment, like an online challenge or something else, like what Shelley is doing right now. So again, tell us, just a couple of elements of what does a FOMO campaign consist of? what are the elements that you normally discuss with your clients? What do you put in place? Just like a high level overview.
It's about capturing what you're going to be, producing. So, and we want to recapture that excitement. So the people inside that, they're enjoying it, they're making breakthroughs. We want to document that live, unfiltered, unedited, because that shows the real authentic you. I think we've done away with all the polished videos where we can edit and make ourselves look bigger than we are, and and more grandiose than we are. This is about real, raw, right now. And so it's about like I say, catching those moments. If you think of, a reporter who is going into something, breaking news that's just happened now, what does that journalist actually capture? That's what I do. So, if there are, ups and downs, hiccups, successes, we document all of that, okay? And that's what I do, because people really want to know behind the scenes what's actually happening. There's so much that we can tell from a photograph, but there is so much more that we can tell from a video that's unedited. And that's what I take pains to encourage my clients, which is, it doesn't need to be polished. It doesn't need to be, a glorious background or anything like that. It's just capturing that essence. So, again, we were talking offline, and at a, traditionally with the conferences, you may get a videographer who'll go around and, try and find an attendee and say, hey, can you give us a testimonial? And the video, and, the attendee might look like bunny in headlights, and then suddenly the testimonial is kind of fake, because it's kind of forced upon them. Oh yeah, I really like this conference because, and all the testimonials come out the same. Whereas when I go to an in-person event, I'll make it about the attendee, because ultimately the conference is about the attendees. If you don't have any attendees, participants in your challenge, your business ceases to exist. So I interview people and I'll say, what is your name? What do you do? Why are you here today? What are your thoughts so far? And it turns into a conversation which becomes a more realistic testimonial. And by interviewing attendees, these attendees could, we want to attract more of those attendees to our events. So making about the attendees means that like attracts like, and that's what FOMOing is all about.
Right. I love it, because as we know, that is the most authentic, and people want also authenticity. They don't want to have color coded, things. And sugar-coated things, right? And also, as we know, as event organizers, we can tell everything from our own perspective, but it's so much more trustworthy when, people that have been actually part of the journey can share their stories directly. I love it. Okay, I always, these interviews are there to actually inspire everyone that is with us and, is watching our interview and is wanting to get inspired. However, I'm a big believer that inspiration is amazing and the energy behind it is amazing. And what really creates magic is when we turn our learning into doing. So what is one thing people can actually do today to start creating a little FOMO around what they do? What is maybe one action they could take today in a concrete way?
Have a look at your social media posts and go deeper. What I mean by that is, quite often I'll see a quote, or I'll see a photograph and a couple of sentences to go with that photograph. The thing is, if I've met you for the first time and I see this photograph and the two sentences, that doesn't enthrall me. I need to know more. So if you've got a workshop that's coming up, and I was actually on a podcast a couple of weeks ago, and this lady, she literally took a photograph of her stack of workbooks that she was going to post out to her members, and she gave a little bit of information with that Instagram post. So it's this one photograph and a story behind the workbook, and she got 2 people to sign up to her membership on the back of that one photograph because she told a story. She didn't just write 2 sentences, she gave the full backstory. You know, when you watch TV, and sometimes, if you do watch TV, I don't know if you do, Ronnie, but sometimes there'll be an advert in the middle, and then in the second half, they'll do a quick summary of what you missed in the first half.
Yeah.
Now, all of our social media posts have to be like that, in that you give a quick summary and a little bit of a backstory to give the full information about that one particular post, because no one is going to be watching your, your Twitter account, your Instagram account, your LinkedIn posts day in, day out.
Yeah.
So if you treat every new post as if it's fresh and give a bit of a backstory, go deep on the behind the scenes, that's how you can create FOMO for your business.
I love that. Oh my God, it's so valuable what you're sharing. And I could talk to you for hours and hours and making, I know we will eventually. But I know that, some people here that are here with us and feel really inspired and think like, hey, I should talk to Making. I should find out more about how I can create that buzz and the FOMO for my programs, events, and everything else. How can they connect with you?
Given that we're both going on to the LinkedIn challenge, why don't you contact me on LinkedIn, Making Tsang. That's Mayking, and my surname is Tsang.
Great. And we're going to put the link straight into the story around this interview, obviously, right? So we learn even more about the power of stories today. Thank you, Making, for doing the magic you're creating and for being with us today on our heart-powered, inspiring interview. I hope that I hope that everyone is here with us today, right now, watching this. I hope you feel inspired. I hope you feel the energy and you feel the power for creating FOMO and really getting the lurkers that are not working with you just yet, really interested in working with you. Again, I think this is the job for each and every one of us entrepreneurs. So thank you, Making, for being with us, and all of you. Take the initiative today, as Making said. Okay, look at some of your posts and look at where is their story, how does it summarize what was there before to create the FOMO of, hey, maybe I should go back or maybe I should visit more often. That's a very powerful hint, and start sharing some of your stories in this way. Great, Making, thank you for being with us. Wish you all the best. Let's create more FOMO together in this world. And all of you, thank you for being with us today. And again, keep an eye out. We're going to stream another heart-powered, inspiring interview soon. But again, I hope you enjoyed this one. Take action on it. And we love to hear from you in the heart-powered global nation. What are you doing with it? What are you learning? How is it inspiring you? What actions are you taking and what results that bring to you and your business? So, Making, thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much, Monique. I really appreciate it. Thanks, and I hope your listeners found it useful.
Yes, and again, join us in the HeartPowered Global Nation and connect with Making if you really want to know more about how to create FOMO in your business. And definitely sign up on Shelley's incredible LinkedIn challenge that's coming up soon. Okay, see you soon. All the best.
Oh, that was